Hello, everyone. It's Leo, and we finally have the trailer for Sailor Moon Eternal. So, in this video, I want to take a look at it like in a better way, take a look at some of the screenshots of the trailer, and analyze what we have. This is a very short trailer, 30 seconds only. We don't see much, but either way, I've been planning to do this. Even before the trailer came out, I thought, well, when we have the first look at the trailer itself, I just want to analyze frame by frame. So that's more or less what we're doing here. There's not much, but I feel like there is a lot. There is enough to talk and theorize and get some ideas. So first up, the trailer starts with this shot, and the camera goes up while we see the five main girls. And this is from the 90s anime. While we see this, Moonlight Densetsu plays. So I feel like this is a revival of Sailor Moon in the 90s style in a way. I think they're still following the manga story, they're still going the crystal style, but they're really pandering to nostalgia, like way stronger this time. They're even usually using Moonlight Densetsu. I really hope we have original songs for the movie, obviously. But so far, Moonlight Densetsu like plays a big part of it, and I believe this was a good way of them, showing people that they're doing Sailor Moon movies. Lots of people that didn't know after this trailer now know, and they're now hyped. They're now getting that Moony power back, and I love that. So like when it gets to Sailor Moon, it's really clear that it's the 90s style, and we have like this moon, the moonlight coming up to her. I find this shot very, very beautiful. It's very nostalgic in a way. I absolutely love it. And then we get to the actual like new footage from the trailer, and we get this powerful look from Usagi. I just love the drive in her eyes in this. She looks determined. She looks like she is ready for what's to come. And like we're talking about the Dead Moon Circus, there is a fierce battle coming. There's like a tragic happening with Usagi and Mamoru as well. Lots of things happening, and I think like this first movie is going to be full of dramatic and intense moments for Usagi and the five girls, and obviously Chibi Moon as well, Chibiusa. So in this we can see the weapon that Sailor Moon uses in this part of the story. We can also see Chibiusa's weapon down there. And this is one thing I am really going to talk about here. This neon light. It appears in some other parts of the trailer as well, and I find it absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is something that really caught my attention when I saw it for the first time. And those are very quick shots, but they appear a lot, and I just love it. It makes them feel so alive and colorful and pretty and glittery, shiny, very Sailor Moon in a way. And I just find it incredible. This is the weapon I like the most from Sailor Moon. Like from all of the Sailor Moon weapons, this is my first. I mean, Sailor Moon the character, not the franchise. But this is my favorite, and I'm happy that it looks beautiful this way, and I really like this. And in here we can really see like how it glows and how it shines. I just love it. This is probably part of the animation of Moon Gorge's Meditation, and in the 90s she uses more or less this same pose. This is like really, really incredible. I love this, and I love the colors, and I love the dress of Super Sailor Moon. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. In here, it's the Sailor Moon transformation, and again, the neon. This is a very quick part of it, but the neon that is here in the moon and in the flowers is stunning. It's stunning. I love this style. And, after the neon goes out, it's just the flowers that are there to adorn. Sailor Moon Crystal uses this a lot, and I find this absolutely beautiful. And in Sailor Moon Eternal, it's being used again. But, this neon really captured my heart. I just love how it works out. I just love this idea that they used, and I find it so, so, so incredible. I love it. Okay, so now I think I'm going to leave Sailor Mercury for last. Let's start with Sailor Mars. Sailor Mars suffers a lot from the crystal style, as we can see in this. She suffered a lot, especially in the first season. And I feel like they have a very hard time keeping her consistent because she's supposed to be the most beautiful one out of all the three, the most elegant one out of the four, out of the four. And sometimes they just can't make this work. Just look at this. This looks really horrible. But I feel like when the animation goes on and on, she looks better. This is the last shot of her scene, and I just love it. She looks awesome here. She looks awesome. And what happens? What happens here in this scene is she is doing her attack, Mars Flame Sniper, and this is basically the same animation of the 90s show, obviously with the new style, with the Eternal style. And well, the attack goes like this. She creates this bow and the arrow, a fiery bow and a fiery arrow, with the camera looking at her by the sides, and then she points it forward towards the camera and shoots the arrow. I think they're not changing that. They're obviously keeping that the same way. And, even though that first shot was horrible, this one looks really nice. I like it. And, there's this elegance about her that I love. Okay, let's go to Sailor Jupiter. In Jupiter's case, let me just put it down a little bit. Okay, here. Okay, so in Jupiter's case, she's doing her Jupiter Oak Evolution attack. This is a very simple attack, and in those other shots, we can just see that it's going to be, again, very similar to what the 90s attack was. And, ultimately, I believe that this was an attack that needed kind of a revamp because it's very, very simple. She just summons the oaks, the leaves, and then they just surround her. She keeps spinning, and then she puts her arms up, and the oaks, they get energized with thunder power, and they just go towards the monster. I find this attack very, very simple. And it seems they're using the same animation. But one thing I loved was this shot right here. I absolutely loved it because she has an oak crown, a leaf crown. I don't know. But she's using a crown. Come on, this is going to be so nice. This is going to be so nice. This is a very quick detail, but I loved it. And, it just looked incredible. I just wanted to share. And not last, because last is Mercury, but okay, let's go to Sailor Venus. Sailor Venus is adorable, adorable, adorable. And, there isn't much action in Venus's part, but there's just her wink that is just like a trademark of hers. And this wink was present in the 90s as well. This is Venus Love and Beauty Shock. This was present in the 90s attack, but in this case, it's probably going to be the same. She kisses her fingers and then creates a heart, and then she multiplicates the heart, and the hearts all gather into one and hurl at the enemy. This is probably going to be more or less the same. She already used the wink in Sailor Moon Crystal Season 3 in her attack, Venus Wink Chain Sword, which is my favorite attack from Venus. After that, Season 3, it was just like, oh my god, that attack is awesome. I just love it. And this is just awesome. Okay, so she looks really, really incredible, as she's supposed to be. I just can't. Okay, so I left Mercury for last because, okay, this is the logo. I left Mercury for last because she is using an attack called Mercury Aqua Rhapsody. And if you go back to the 90s show, she just does this attack like this. She just stands, she just stays still while playing the harp, and water flows out of the harp. That's it. Now in Crystal, she is twirling around while water is kind of like surrounding her, as we can see here. And I feel like she is going to twirl around a little and then stop and then play the harp. And if that's the case, I am going to absolutely love it. Because again, this is another case of an attack that I feel like it's kind of like Luster in the original, and they're like bringing it up a notch. I'm going to love this. I think this is a welcoming change for Mercury, as it would have been for Jupiter as well. Mars and Venus, I understand. Like their attacks in Super Ass are great. They're greatly animated. But those other, Mercury and Jupiter, not so much for me, obviously. And we can see the little harp here in her hand. It's just so nice because it's very very tiny. It's tiny and adorable. Oh my god, I just cannot wait to like this is like where we can see it better probably. It's very very small, but it just feels kind of magical and you know mythical in a way. I I just can't. She's my favorite out of the inner senshi, so I'm very excited to see more and more of this attack. I just cannot wait. Okay, so now we have other shots. This is a shot of Sailor Moon with Mamo-chan. I just have to say this dress of Super Sailor Moon is awesome. I love it. What else do we have? We have this shot of all of the girls together. I love this as well. This is very cute. This is a panel from the manga. This was adapted in the 90s as well. Like, this is a very iconic Sailor Moon shot. And, I just love this. I just love this scene. This is the scene that Usagi and Chibiusa meet Pegasus, and lots of people are commenting on how Pegasus is small in this scene, and I kind of like it. It feels more or less the same vibe as Chibiusa. So I think this is gonna be nice, even though there isn't like this big connection with Chibiusa in the manga like there was in the Super S anime. So I'm very curious on how they're gonna play with that. I hope they stick to the manga, and not because the old anime is bad, but just for us to have another version in an animation. And another thing that I can't not talk about, the background. This background is stunning. I just love how they use the colors. And I just love the tones of green they use. This is mind-blowingly beautiful. Sailor Moon again, Usagi with the brooch, and she's preparing to transform. She's preparing to become Sailor Moon. I love the drive in her eyes. And here we have Usagi and Chibiusa, Sailor Moon and Sailor Chibi Moon, using Moon Gorgeous meditation. I don't remember if in Super S they actually used this attack as a duo. I remember they did it in the Super S movie though, but not really in the show. I don't remember, but I don't think they did use this in the show. But they do in the manga, so I'm happy it's there. So I think that it's going to be very close to the manga. And this is just the finishing part of the attack, more or less the same way that it's done in the 90s anime. So I think Moon Gorgeous meditation is probably gonna follow more or less the same animation as it did in the 90s. This is something I don't particularly like. I like when we have new animation, not use the same old one with a new look. But at this point, I'm not complaining. I'm just excited. I'm just living my Sailor Moon fantasy once more with Sailor Moon Eternal because I am excited. Anyways, that was all I wanted to say. It was longer than I intended. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time. Bye bye.